Oh, bunnies, you are in pickly moods. Come on in, Lizbeth. How you doing? How's it going? They don't want to be tempted over. Gerry! Pellets. Fifi pellets. There you go. Hello, Zara. Hello, Pug. Hello, Dave. Gerry just did the most daring thing I think I've ever seen him do. I was getting the pellets out, and I kneel down next to their bed when I get them. I put the little bowl in my lap and I open it with one hand, grab them with the other. And Gerry was in the castle and he saw the bowl in my lap, because normally he jumps up onto the bed and then he jumps up onto my lap from the bed. But he ran up into the castle and then he just stretched across and did this like big, like, well, for Gerry, like a very big yump over. And I was like, oh my gosh. He's a hungry boy today. Blimey. Good morning, Hansan and Palin and Bambi and Achantua and Lily and Joe and Ravane and Monmouth and Cow and Rob and Walnut and Megalomaniac. Good morning. How you all doing? How's it going? I can't decide if it's warm or not. I was wondering whether to get the ice pod, but it's like, it's raining outside. I am wearing a jumper, so I do feel a bit warm. But I don't know. How are you feeling? Oh, she do have quite warm ears. Maybe I will put some pellets down and I will go get the ice pod. Leave the bunnies in charge. Oh. Okay. BRB. Do good munches, bunnies. Hi. Oh, baby boy. There we go. Just in case. Now they can choose if they want it. I accidentally slept all day today after 2 very early mornings. I had morning Max. And good morning, Santa and Annie. I had one of those dreams about oversleeping and it was really stinky. Harry, thank you very much for the 40... Oh, I missed Max's one as well. Harry, thank you very much for the 47 months. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Hello, Bronchi. Hello, Harry. I hope you're doing good. And Max, thank you very much for the 52 months. 52. Blimey. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, my dream. I don't remember enough about it to record it, really. But for some reason I was sleeping at an airport, but the airport was basically like just like one long row of chairs and then the like runway, and Alex and I had maybe like got there, but we were going home. I don't think we were actually meant to be getting a plane at all. And I sat down and I fell asleep. And then the lady from Baby Reindeer sat down next to me. Alex got up to go somewhere and she sat down next to me and was like, oh, you must have been tired. And I was like, what? And she was like, it's 3. And I was like, what, do you mean 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning? And she was like, in the afternoon. I was like, oh, bloomin' heck, I've done a massive sleep. Morning, Carl. And then all of a sudden we like rushed and we got on this little truck that was meant to take you to, I guess, where you could get trains home or something. And as we were on that, I went by and I could see Alex's parents had come to pick us up. on a different truck. This is a dream. And and I was like, oh no, how are we gonna get to them? But that's what I remember of that dream. But then I had another dream where I was meant to be cat sitting for someone. It wasn't a house I recognise at all, and it wasn't a cat I recognise at all. So it was completely, like, I don't know who it was meant to be. But I was cat sitting, and then all of a sudden I was like aware of someone next to me, but I was like, oh, it must be like my sister or someone. But then I turned around and it was Longest John's, and they were like, we're back from tour, and I was like, oh my god. And I was chatting away to them, and then I woke up, and then I was like, I'm going to go back to sleep because I want to hang out with them for a bit more because they're not back for a week. So I fell asleep again, and I was trying to hang out with them, and it did work. But all of a sudden we were at like this big award ceremony, and Longest John's had been in like, they were winning an award and it was all really fancy, but they were really annoyed at their producer because he'd done something bad, and I was like, oh no. And it was very strange. But yeah, I don't really remember much of, I remember like the setting of that place, but I don't really remember what was happening. But I remember I was at one point stood in the toilets, and I was like, I'm in a dream. Like, I was really aware I was in a dream. I was like, I'm in a dream. I can wear a dress that I wouldn't normally have the confidence to wear. So I was just stood there looking in the mirror and basically doing like the Clueless thing of changing what I was wearing to try and decide like, yeah, I'm going to wear this because I would never wear this in real life. And I wore a very fancy dress, and it was nice. It was nice. Good morning, Anno. But yeah, I don't really remember what the award was for or anything. Good morning, Rob. Morning, Ginge. But yeah, so I slept in more than I meant to this morning just because I did the I want to go back into my dream thing. Good morning, Poke. Morning, Monday. Oh, Fifi. Gerry did the teeny tiniest of binkies today. My first dream did come true, yeah. Poke, thank you very much for the 9 months. Congratulations on your baby carrot. Well, at least I didn't see, I mean, imagine if I slept in until 3. I think the last time I must have slept in that long was when I went to my friend's house. I think I must have been in like year 5 or year 6. And I went around a friend's house and we decided to stay up all night. We'd never stayed up all night. So we were like, this is a sleepover, but we're not going to sleep. And we stayed up all night. And then the next day I got home to mine and I crashed. And I woke up and it was dinner time and I felt awful. And I was like, never again. I was like, staying up all night is not fun. So yeah. I don't think have I stayed up all night since then? I mean, I've definitely stayed up late, but I think I've always had a little bit of sleep. I'm trying to think, the most likely candidate would be for Dota or something, or a house party in my youth. I've been sleeping because I do that, but I have no control over it, but I'm basically asleep. Yeah, I was saying to Kirsty the other day on Morning Landwood, I was saying, I swear that the most deceptive person in any person's life is the sleepy version of them. The sleepy person who says like, 5 more minutes, and you're like, okay, and then it's like 2 hours later. I just had an interesting start to the day. Had to rescue 2 baby blue tits who had gone to the space above the ceiling tiles. Oh, bless them. How baby were they? Were they like fledgling baby, or were they still nest baby? Oh, bless. Little ones. Need to get to the point of staying awake so much that you get high. Yeah, it is such a weird feeling. I don't think I could physically do it now either. I honestly, like, I don't know how people stay up until like 4 in the morning playing games now. I mean, I guess it's if you're into a different routine. A flying baby. Aww. It's very difficult not to make jokes right now. I'm very proud of you, Rob. I think the only time I've stayed up all night on purpose was when I watched the sunrise over the hills many years ago. Yeah, staying up for the sunrise is nice. Oh, Patience, I'm sorry you're still not feeling very well. I can only do that if I inhale a very large amount of caffeine. See, a lot of the time coffee makes me quite sleepy, but other types of caffeine will do. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like I went to that Dota thing and it was sponsored by Monster, and Monster had this like deal that they were gonna, like, they wanted to give out something ridiculous, like 20,000 cans of Monster at the event, or maybe more, maybe like 40,000. It was some like crazy number. And then the event space were like, no, you can't do that because we sell them. So you can only do it in times where the bar is closed. And that was during the matches. So the match would start and then people would go and get loads of free Monster. And my friend kept on going and getting it and being like, do you want some? And I'm like, no, I just don't think I could. Like, energy drinks scare me. I like the idea of having an energy drink. Just, I guess it's because I went through all that stuff with the heart palpitations. So maybe it's just that. It's just the fear of that coming back because I've drunk something that's like gonna make it go do 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 do. Because I think I've had a Red Bull once in my life, and that was it. And I didn't really enjoy that. But yeah, I really don't like them. Like, I barely even have coffee these days. I still have caffeine and tea, but I've tried to, like, I got my first iced coffee of the year earlier, last weekend, or the weekend before last, and I got a decaf one because I was like, I like the taste of coffee, but I'm scared of the heart rave, and I don't think it even would. Like, I switched to decaf tea because I don't really need anything speeding up my heart rate. Anxiety does the job fine, thank you very much. It's like the other day, Alex was like, do you reckon you could mentally slow down your heart rate? And I was like, yeah, people can do that. So we put on his like, he's got one of those smartwatches, and he was like, he got it resting, and then he tried to relax himself, and he took it again, and it had gone down. And he was like, oh yeah. And then he was like, okay, I'll try it with you. And he was like, okay, now try to relax. And it just got quicker and quicker and quicker. And I was like, it being told to relax makes me so nervous. Like, it doesn't work. The only times you're ever told to relax as an owner of a vagine in your adult life is when you're having a smear test. So I think being told to relax very much has the opposite effect for me. I'm like, oh geez, brace yourself, gird your loins. Dear oh dear. Instructions unclear, had heart attack. Yes. Oh, Vivi. Oh, look at she. Fifi understands how to relax. She gets it. She can follow instructions. Oh, she got them stretchy legs too. Oh, Fafu, I'm glad I got the ice pot. You do get warm, don't you? Don't you? I've cut my coffee down to one, usually two per day because of acid reflux. Oh, I'm glad it's feeling better now. I had a time year before last where I had lots of like heart palpitations and I had to have a heart monitor and blah blah blah. And it turned out that all of it was literally just anxiety. It was doing it to myself. I went for, heart scans and I had the monitor and all of this stuff, and they were like, "No, it's you," which is sort of like a relief because you're like, "Yay, heart's good." But then you're also like, "But how do I do this?" Because if it's just anxiety, what do I now do with that information? Just calm down, forehead. It's okay. But it is a lot better now, thankfully. I worked on a lot of stuff and I'm a much calmer person than I was then. But yeah, I think I still have that knock on, because back then I just had water. I was like, I don't know what's causing this, so I'm not going to have tea, I'm not going to have coffee, I'm not going to have fizzy drinks. So I just drank water a lot. And even now, if I drink like a what we call a full fat Coke, just standard like red Coke, I feel it start to happen. And even though I know it's in my head doing it, it makes me feel so bad that I'm just like, no. I remember a doctor literally saying, your heart is fine, it's probably just anxiety. And I was like, okay, what do I do then? Yeah, it's so difficult when they're just like, I mean, it is a good thing in a way, because obviously it is comforting in a certain way that you can say to yourself, this is just me, I don't have to worry about this, sort of thing. But also it is difficult when you're just like, have you tried not being anxious? And you're like, oh my gosh, I never thought about that. I'll do that, thank you. But I had, I went through various therapy, and just time helped a lot, and yeah, I'm all right now. I'm not saying that I am not still an anxious person, and I do still get panic attacks every now and then. There's not really much you can do about those because they are attacks. Because I always find myself saying like, I just had a panic attack out of nowhere, and I'm like, attack is literally in the name. What was I expecting? It to book a date? Just relax. Oh no. Oh no. Cosmic, thank you very much for the 62 months. Oh my gosh, I had tier 3. You crazy guy. I was thinking about you the other day. Good morning, lovely buns. Thank you. I was at the cinema, but I wasn't actually watching a film. And I was looking at the big bags of popcorn. And I remembered that Cosmic had sent me a video of big bags of popcorn. And I went back and watched it, even though I was at the cinema watching it. I went back and found the video and watched it. It was good. Don't forget to breathe or something. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. Thank you for the bits. But yes. Just drink hot chocolate. Nobody's heart raises from nice hot chocky. That's true. The calming drink. People tell me, have you tried not using your phone before bed as an insomniac? Yeah, like, I know there is a lot of stuff about, like, good... I just had a completely expected panic attack. Yay! Like, there's all the like, sleep health stuff where they're like, no screens in bed. If you're not asleep within 30 minutes, get up and do something else and then go back and try again and all of that stuff. I got lots of those things. But that was mostly because I went through a phase when I was like big panic mode the other summer where I was scared to sleep. Like I became scared of sleep. So having good sleep health didn't really matter, because if anything that made it worse, because it was the sleeping I was... Gerry, will you drop that? It was the sleep part I was scared of. So yeah, that was an odd one. Dee, 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 dee. I wonder how long you're going to get away with this. I feel bad. Fifi! 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 There we go. She just did that, what's his name? John Travolta thing, where she ran over to the rug and then she was just looking around like, where are they? I'm like, we're over here, my love. I recently found out I probably have a heart condition that makes my heart rate, which isn't great, but it means that it wasn't always anxiety after all. I mean, I guess, like, I think there is something nice about knowing a factual thing, because I guess, oh, what was it? Someone worded it to me once. They were like, the gaps where you don't know things, your brain will fill in with anxiety. So if you're like, I don't know how tomorrow's going to go, your brain's like, okay, I've got something I can fill in that space with. You're like, is it anxiety? And you're like, no. It is. So I guess if you do know what's going on, with my ADHD, I find it almost impossible to switch everything off. I need a VOD or something. Yeah, I need to listen to audiobooks to get to sleep. Because otherwise I will just lie awake and think. And sometimes anxiety is always the anticipation of things for me. Yeah, it's like the you know when you have like arguments with people in the shower, as in your head. You know when you invite people over for a shower and you just battle it out. No, when you're just like having a shower and you're just arguing with someone in your head, and you're like, we didn't have this argument. This is entirely of my own creation, but I do that a lot more than I should. I like podcasts for sleeping. Just quiet talking is good. Yeah, when you find it, like I used to listen to Dead Eyes to get to sleep. That was a good podcast for sleeping. I've tried listening to Folklands before, but anything that has like music in between can wake me up. And also I found it a bit too spooky for sleepy time sometimes. But it is nice when you find something that you can fall asleep to. Good morning, Chronicle. But yeah, I think there's just a lot of worth in knowing yourself and being kind to yourself, treating yourself like a friend first and foremost. Because when I was having like the really bad anxiety, there would be days where I would get up and I would just be like, this is not a day. And I would just have to sort of nap and try and get through the day and be like, okay, tomorrow. And you just have to accept that, like, you know, there's going to be tomorrow. It's fine. Not every day has to be, you know, the best of days. So yeah, my roommate was listening to some really scientific, boring sci-fi audiobook to fall asleep. He never got further than 2 chapters in the 2 years we lived together. That happened to my dad once. My dad used to go away for like school trips a lot because he was a head teacher. And one of the teachers, who is still like, you know, one of his bestest buds, they were sharing a room together. And he was talking, he loves beer, but not in like, you know, always just like, you know, the lady, what's his name? The man from Keeping Up Appearances. He's not like that. He literally likes like the process of beer. He goes to ale festivals, knows all of this stuff. And he gets like a beer magazine and he was reading it to my dad, and my dad fell asleep. And for a while, if you started talking to my dad about beer, he'd get sleepy. It just became this like conditioning. I find Sips VODs and Warhammer VODs the best at the moment. Yeah, it is. Yeah, when I was having like big uh, anxiety stuff, I would put on Tom and Ben VODs because they have like such lovely voices and they talk about like I'm interested in Warhammer but I don't know like enough to like be super honed in on it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would spend like every day I would go for a nap and listen to Tom and Ben whenever I felt anxious. It was very nice. I've told Ben about that before. I was like, I hope this isn't offensive to you. But thank you. The jizz. Sim spots are great until you get to the video with the horn sound at the start. Oh no. My friend has got used to put my shoulder at least 10 minutes at a time and I conditioned myself to relax when she did it instead of being annoyed. It still works 20 years later. Oh my goodness. I used to get it with, ever since I was like 8 years old, maybe even younger, I used to go and get Tony Robinson reading Terry Pratchett books out on tape from the library to get to sleep. And then I started getting like CDs of the same thing. I used to listen to like the tapes of Diggers and Truckers to get to sleep. And even now, if I listen to Tony Robinson, it starts making me feel really sleepy. Because I think I just associate his voice now. Same as Stephen Fry sometimes, because I've fallen asleep so much to Stephen Fry reading things. I think the two of them, I'm just like, okay, sleepy time now. Find them very calming. Have you seen the Graham Norton clip of Michael Bublé saying that he uses Matthew McConaughey to get to sleep? No! Like how much time team or QI? No. No, Tony Robinson. Tony Robinson was, I don't know if you'd be aware of Blackadder, but he played Baldric. He's like a British actor who also did a show called Time Team where he would go to like excavation sites. And I mean, I don't really know why he did that. Did he have any connection to archaeology at all? Like, why was he on Time Team? But he also did a lot of the audio recordings for Terry Pratchett. It's him and he just enjoyed history. Ah, that's nice. I found a YouTube channel that does video game essays. They've done a 7-hour essay on the video game Death Stranding. Was out cold before the first hour was done. I don't really remember much about Time Team, to be honest. The only thing I remember is the real, like, West Country guy. He was alive during a lot of history as Baldric. This is true. He has a podcast now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be perfect. I mean, my next listening thing is, there's a audiobook that Alex bought that he wants me to listen to. That's about, what is it called? It's a Lord of the Rings thing. I think it's someone reading something by Peter Jackson, all about like how Lord of the Rings got made. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm going to listen to that once I'm done with re-listening to Pride and Prejudice for the 100th time. Do you remember the guy with the snazzy jumpers? This theme song was fantastic. It was so rousing with the drums. Oh, Fifi's just run off somewhere. Places to be. Places to be, Jerry boy. You've got snuggles to do. I actually had a really funny moment yesterday with Ben on TTT. So with TTT, there's 2 recordings of mine that haven't come out yet. I don't know when they're going to be. I don't really know how far behind TTT is. But there's one that's going to come out that I was awful in. And it almost made me think, okay, I'm not doing this again. I'm just too bad. It hasn't clicked. I'm not doing it. And then, so when I was asked this time, I was messaging Rob like, should I do it? And he was like, yes, give it another go. Then you can say you've given it your all. And I was like, okay. And then I did. And I had a really lovely time. And I actually did some good plays. So I'm glad that I did. But I was just so like, So there are two. Don't blame me, everyone. There's going to be 2 episodes, I think, that come out that just don't even, just know that there's brighter things on the horizon. And then after that, there should be, I think we actually recorded 3 sessions yesterday. So, my listening list is just comfort zone from the beginning. So many, I may have told this story before. Oh no. See, the problem is, like, when you do streams and podcasts and stuff, there are so many times that I get, or like, so obviously there are things that you just tell people in general everyday conversation. And then when you're recording and you're like, have we just talked about this outside of comfort zone? Or have I told it on comfort zone? I can't remember. I'll just tell it again. Oh, she's gonna do another flop. I think she's gonna do a smush, not a flop. Oh, sorry, Gerry. I swear Kirsty is the person who betrays me the most on TTT. Maybe it's because she's the person that I trust blindly every time. Maybe I should learn from that. You should watch the last TTT with Ozzy and G. It'll make you feel better. Or Lewis and Ben trying to shoot each other. I mean, probably I should watch other TTTs to try and understand what's going on a little bit with it. We didn't do the sentence swap thing yet. No, we'll have to find a time. Have a plan. Look at you. Just tell them that you'll only do TTT if you can be the pure innocent or the possum. They have 100% and 66% win rate for you. Really? Blimey. Oh my gosh, I had a time yesterday when I was possum and I got really confused because every time I clicked the little possum button, say, oh, there she goes. Every time I clicked it, it wouldn't say activated, but every time I clicked it again, it would say deactivated. So I was like, okay. So then I'd click it and I'd be like, so it must be activated. And then I'd be like, or did I click it twice? And then I'd click it again. It'd be like deactivated. I had to do it like 8 times to make sure I'd done it. And then even then I wasn't sure. And then I got killed anyway, so I guess it wasn't. But I was just like, huh? What is happening? Dear oh dear. I would prefer to be a jester, but I've literally never been given the role of jester in all of the times I've played. And I'm like, I just really want to have a go at being just like the straight up basic jester without worrying about, the other things. But I never seem to get it. But yes, I'm trying to be braver with it. Yesterday I really made an effort to try. The role pack at the moment is kind of confusing too. Yeah, there was a moment yesterday, hopefully by the time it comes out you will have forgotten all of these things that I've leaked, but there was a moment yesterday where there was a role that I thought worked in one way. Okay, so I'll just say it. It was a body snatcher, and I thought I was just going to change to that person's role, and then all of a sudden I rezzed them, and then I just saw me in front of myself, and I was just like, huh? And it turns out you swap role and body, and I was just so confused because I was like, I thought I was doing a like, I'm gonna become this person, and then I was like, wait, no, now they're alive, and then they went on to res another person, who went on to res another person, who went on to res another, and then it just got into absolute chaos of just like, who is who and what is happening? I don't understand. So me thinking the one time that I'm like, I understand what's happening and I'm going to do a really cool play, and then it just turned into absolute chaos, and I was like, I don't even know who I am or what my role is or what's happening anymore. It was just very confusing. But yeah. And then it's just I thought I was following it. And then I just completely lost. I just lost it. But yes, it was a very fun session. I'm glad for it. I think if I had have had another one where I didn't feel so good, I would have just been like, nope, retiring. It's my fault for reading the comments, really. Because all it takes for is like one mean comment for me to be like, nah, I'm bad, I won't do this. And the problem was, there was a comment, because just mean comments about me, I'm like, meh. But there was a comment that basically implied that I was, my being there made Kirsty less fun to watch. And that was what made me feel bad, because I was like, I don't want people to have negative feelings towards Kirsty, and I especially don't want it to be my fault. So I was thinking, should I just step back and not play, because then Kirsty can thrive, because I don't want to hold her back at all. Because that is the last thing I want to do. So that was the comment that I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll stop. But yeah, hello, Froodles. You and Cassie are an absolute delight to watch. I never want to hold her back. She is a beautiful princess. Deserves the world. But yeah, reading YouTube comments is bad for you. This is true. I think the role swapping factors are a bit too much. Just the occasional role swap confusion. I know, it's like when you play werewolf and you get like it's one thing having like oh, what is it? When you've got like people who swap roles, but then you add in the troublemaker who swaps two other people's roles. And then there can be times when you're like, haha, I've won. I was the werewolf. And you turn your card over and you're like, no, I wasn't. I lost. What? You just don't understand. Like, how did this happen? What the heck? It's, yeah, it does get very confusing. I love werewolf. I'm seeing Rob this weekend. Can I force you to play werewolf again, Rob? Rob playing werewolf is so great because he immediately gets, you know, that look that dogs get if they've done something bad and they're trying to act really innocent. That is exactly the look that Rob gets if he turns his card over and is the werewolf. Just sit there like, okay. Tee. Like when you're the faker and you kept showing Kirsty. Yeah, I didn't really understand how the faker worked, so I thought the only way I can do this is if I show 3 things to Kirsty and she doesn't dob me in. Rob is basically Charlie, yeah. You can tell the apple didn't fall far from the tree. When the editors have to add subtitles to explain what's going on to multiple people, it do get confusing. I work in a board game cafe and play werewolves and blood on the clock tower, and all I think about is TTT. Tom Hazel edits TTT. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Matt does it sometimes as well. I know Matt sometimes edits the Gartix. But yeah, I think it's pretty much Tom. But it is like, yeah, I don't envy that job. It must be. I know Alex has done it a little bit. I know he took over TTT for a little while. Of Crunchy Nut fame, yes. Oh, is Gerry just fallen asleep? I just saw his head go forward. Yesterday, oh, baby boy, you're so snoozy. Yesterday, I was watching Gerry and he did the thing where his head lolled all the way back because he was sleepy. And then he woke up and then his face just fell forward and he fell asleep again. I was like, he's gone both ways now. Look at he. Back to a sleepy Gerry, no less. Yeah, he's a eepy baby boy. You're very eepy. Eepy and maybe too sleepy. I need to think through everything I've got to do this week. This week in anticipation of the weekend. Ooh. I mean, I'm so, like, the level I'm running on today is, so I might have a freelance job coming up, and I meant to send a message being like, has the recording been done yet? And I read back the message because I got a reply being like, oh, no, not yet. And the message I'd sent just said, has he yet? And I was like, thank goodness you understood what I meant, because I forgot all of the words I actually needed. There should be a mode in TTT where you roll switch every 30 seconds. Oh, jeez. I mean, at least then I'd have an excuse for not keeping up with what's happening. Has he, though? Has he? Has he? Gerry baby boy, Gerry baby boy. Mark has lent me, very kindly, has lent me his Zoom recorder. So I need to learn how to use that for recording stuff with Kirsty next week, which I'm excited for. Tea. Usually just the one button. Yeah, it's more the setting up of it that I'm worried about, like making sure all of it is good. But yes. Oh, Gerry, you just splatted. But sound stuff scares me because I'm very much camera, not sound. Sound was a whole other department. But yeah, I'm hoping we can also get some, like, borrow some lapel mics from the office. But it's just obviously a difficult, like, it made sense to do it this week because Kirsty was down for Camp Yog, but it doesn't make sense to do it because there's not going to be much equipment left to borrow because Camp Yog stuff is going on. But I'm trying to think what's happening in... What will be happening on that day? I've forgotten what's on the Tuesday. They did this thing where they sent out the schedule and it starts on a Friday and it just... I have real trouble reading schedules that don't start on a Monday and understanding what day things are on. So it's very much confused me. Speed runs are Tuesday. Yes. See, in my mind, speed runs are on like Thursday because of it starting on a different day. So it pushes it back in my head. Morning, Motara. So yeah, speed runs. Oh, so I guess that shouldn't be too bad for lapel mics then, because I guess people will be... I assume just streaming from home. It won't be like a games night room stuff. So yeah, hopefully there will be a couple that we can borrow. Nice. Um, yeah. So hopefully, because we've got like, oh my gosh, we're hoping to cram in a lot whilst Kirsty is down. I gotta head off a little earlier. Oh, thank you, Owls. I hope you have a lovely day. Rob treats. Oh yeah, blimey, treats. I've just been smushing this boy and forgotten all about all the things in the world that go on. Oh, look at him. Okay. Let's get you some coriander. Hey, baby boy. Get that little wiggle sniffer. The sniffliest wiggle sniffer in the world. Okay. What's for treats today? It's not super exciting. It's literally just coriander. The shops were a bit bare the other day. Fifi, would you like to step over to the blanket? Yeah. Yee. Okay. Oh, wait, come over this way, maybe. There's a tiny bit there, Fifi. A little stick. Is that nice? The little coriander water? Oh, no, don't tip it over. You don't want to make a puddle. No. The buns like watercress. Yeah, sometimes the mix that I give them is a bag of like spinach rocket and watercress. And they do like that. Good morning, Lee. How you doing? How be do? Hello. Bunny. Bunny. Oh. It's so scrumpled. Between the two of them, they have scrumpled it. Boop. 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 I actually had a cinnamon donut yesterday. I have been like slowly trying to teach myself to tolerate cinnamon because it makes me sad that I don't like it. And the fact that I could actually eat something that the main component was cinnamon was it's a big step. It's a big step on eating pastries. I'm so brave. But yeah, I'm slowly getting there. I've seen a lot of wild buns this week out on my bike. Ah, nice. Morning, Mexicals. Because people seem to get like so much enjoyment from cinnamon, so it's always made me sad. I get sad. Well, I mean, it's sad not to like any taste really, because I A new vegan donut place. Well, there's a place called Crosstown Donuts, which is in Bristol, but I've also seen it in London, so I don't know how many other places it's in. But they do vegan. You can get like vegan selection boxes. I've been having cinnamon and blueberry porridge for breakfast lately. Ooh. Do like porridge. It is nice. Cinnamon challenge when? Just don't do the nutmeg challenge. I'm still so like... thank you for the bit. Cinnamon is the devil. See, this is the thing. This is how I've always felt. Because, like, even if something was a little bit cinnamony, I'd be like, oh. The saddest moment I had involving cinnamon was when, like, I would literally get to the point where some of my friends went into a Cinnabon or whatever they're called, those chain shops, and I walked into the shop and I was like, I cannot I had to turn around and walk out. I had to do a Grandpa Simpson and just leave because I was like, even the smell of cinnamon, horrendous. But I remember people were like, people get so excited for pumpkin spice lattes, and I was like, oh, everyone always talks about pumpkin spice latte. It's pumpkin spice latte season. I'm going to get one. And I got one. I didn't look up what it actually was, but obviously it's very cinnamony. And I took my first sip and I felt so, like, I wanted to, like, spit it back into the cup. It was so awful. I was like, no. And I just remember turning to Alex and being like, I'm so sad because I hate it. I want to be a spice latte princess, but I do. I really hate it. Oh. Surely it should be mostly pumpkin. Well, I guess it's the spice. I guess pumpkin and spice are the the equal flavour contenders. And the latte. I can't be a basic girl. I can't. Macadamia latte. Oh, that does sound nice. I do like macadamia nuts. But yeah, I didn't realise how crazy nutmeg is. I didn't realise that, you know, like a teaspoon of nutmeg makes you trip balls, and then like any more than that can kill you. I was like, that's not fun. That's not a fun sort of spice. It's just mad because I've been reading a lot about like, like nutmeg is really dangerous. It's bizarre how, nutmeg. So nutmeg is like used for. It used to be used in the way that it's like a not a hallucinogenic, but it could be like. It was used to inspire dreams and I guess prophecies and that sort of stuff because it taps into that sort of part of it. I can't remember the thing that it triggers. We've talked about it on Comfort Zone before, but I had nutmeg tea once because it was meant to like. I was hanging out with a coven as you do, and I had nutmeg tea because it was meant to open your mind to prophecy. And then you would do this thing with candle wax where you were meant to maybe tell something about the future. But yeah, so it's meant to like do that sort of stuff and give you crazy dreams and that sort of thing. But yeah, it can literally, if you have too much of it, it can cause like organ failure and stuff like that. There's it is like strangely dangerous for something that is just a household item. I mean, I guess that's the case for a lot of things. You don't want to have too much of it. I just, teenage me miscalculated my dose based on my weight and I was in serious trouble for like 30 hours. Yeah, it is like, it's mad because I've always just been like, you know, I put a pinch of it in my nut roast and stuff like that. It's just nutmeg. It's fine. And reading up about it, I was like, oh my gosh, there were so many cases of people being like, you know, I had this much nutmeg and it was horrendous. Never touch it. But yeah. I mean, I guess the thing is like, everyone will have things like bleach and cleaning products, but you sort of know that they're bad. Whereas nutmeg feels like a sneaky one. It feels like one that's snuck in there. You just think, oh, it's just nice. It's just a tasty little spice. But no, it's naughty. It's a naughty spice. I mean, I guess no one is having, it's not like you're going to accidentally eat an entire tablespoon of nutmeg. So it is fine. I had 2 grams of nutmeg and hallucinated that I was followed around by 2 bunnies for weeks. Yeah. My mother told me about it when I was like 8. Yeah, I only found out about this when I was looking into it. Can you OD on pecan as well? I guess you can. I was gonna say apple seeds. I guess are the one that people tend to know about, but apple seeds are like, I don't know how many apple seeds you would have to eat for it to have a negative effect. And like poppy seeds as well, when people are like, before Olympic events that we all go to all the time, when it's like, before Olympic events, don't have poppy seed muffins because it might show up as an opiate on your blood test. But I don't know like how many poppy seeds you would have to have for that to work. Yeah, apple pips are cyanide. Because you can't give the bunnies love apple, but you have to make sure you never give them the pips because of that. But yes, because wasn't there a case of like a woman in like Victorian times who was like slowly baking apple pips into a pie to kill her husband or something? I don't know how true this was, but I think there was like her husband started to get weaker and weaker and they looked into it and she was always making him pies. But I don't know. Unskinned almonds too. Well, it's like when they did that thing, there was a big push in the UK that you weren't allowed to have Brazil nuts in it's still in their shells, because they were like, we've discovered that Brazil nut shells are poisonous. And I was like, who the heck was eating the shells anyway? I've eaten many Brazil nuts in my time, and I've never once been tempted to just, I'm just going to eat the whole thing. They're like famously one of the hardest nuts to crack. Why would you just chew it? Madness. You can have them in their shells again now. But yes, dear oh dear. The challenge. It's like for the one person who was like me with edamame beans and thought you ate the whole thing and just sat chewing for 10 minutes. Back in the 80s, everything had lead in it. Yeah, when I was a child, I had a lead frog on my shelf that had been my dad's when he was little. I had this little lead frog, and I used to play with mercury. We'd always eat the Brazil nut shells and we were fine. That's not true. The mercury thing is. Well, I guess on that note, it's time for me to run away. Should we go to Doig? Well. Huh. Tell me more. I have today, Stardew. So I will be on the main channel doing Stardew with Riddy and Kirsty. It will be our last one for a couple of weeks, because obviously next week is Camp Yog. So there won't be any Stardew next week, but there shall be the week after. Fingers crossed. But I'm sure there will be so much exciting stuff happening next week that we shall not be too missed. But yeah, thank you everyone for a lovely chat, and look after yourselves. And I hope you all have very lovely days. I'll see some of you later in chat too. But yeah, be good. Bye-bye for now, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, that's good scratches, Fifi. You gonna do stretchy toes? Or if she does stretchy toes. Go on. Little stretchy toes. No. No, she not gonna do it. Oh. Bye bye. Oh. Little egg room too. I feel like she's gonna do a very good flop at the end of all of this. We gone? Nice. Thank you, cow. Bye bye. A boop. Boop.